way of introducing to you the project even as we are about to go. The project is, in short, a climate resiliency project which addresses three components. By the way, before that, I would like to introduce this project as a project managed by the Vzi Zamboanga Incorporated. It is supported by the Spanish Cooperation Agency, and it's to run in 1 year. We are having partners in Basilan, such as the Gandagadung Basilan, which means beautiful green Basilan. And we're also in partnership supported by Zapida, Zamboanga Basilan Integrated Development Alliance in Zamboanga, and the Nagdila Foundation Incorporated in Basilan. So together, as we try to implement the project together with a lot of partners, I was saying that we are actually implementing three components of the project. The first has to deal with biodiversity conservation in the sense that we are naming this component the bioshielding component or the biofencing component. It is meant to address our concern for environmental degradation, especially because we are seeing that there are now assaults on the integrity of our environment. Nagbabawas na tayo ng forests, we are already seeing pollution, we are also seeing that there are now assaults on the integrity of creation. And so as we deal with biofencing, we are actually focusing on two main crops that are meant for production, propagation, outplanting. These are bamboo, which has just been declared by the Department of Agriculture as a high-value crop, and mango.
El involvement del LBLGU together with some organizations in the community is very, very important. Sabi to the concern of the entire community with the environment, todo kita tiene a special role to play. Oh, I'm thankful gani kay mucho mga organization kaya man join ka natin STD na bamboo tree planting.
We consider rainbow now as one of the high value projects.
All of these are meant to deal with our issues on climate change, our issues on protecting the environment, and seeing how we can optimize on these crops so that they are able to help us have a better quality of natural resources. The second component has to do with socioeconomic, eco-based social enterprises or livelihood. We are assisting through the project a number of community organizations that would like to embark on social enterprise projects so that they are better able to earn incomes for their members. We have, for example, communities in Basilan, especially in Tabiawan and Maligi, communities in the east and west coasts of Zamboanga that we assist logistically for their projects. These projects include the mushroom growers, they also include the bamboo nursery of Bungyao, and the bamboo crafts and furniture of Tabiawan and Maligi. As far as the other third component is concerned, we're looking at the concern for a very low level of awareness on the environment. We're looking at how we can advocate and promote the issues of the environment and climate change so that we can raise the level of awareness, the education level of our people on what this all means. As far as advocacy is concerned, we feel that two main issues are to be addressed here. The issue of resources, which has to do with our environmental integrity, and the issue of waste. So that as far as the issue of resources are concerned, it's interrelated with our bioshielding component, and so we're working on helping out with the planting of bamboo and mango. These three are components that were implemented within the 1-year project. As far as the bioshielding is concerned, we started with bamboo nurseries. We have one nursery in Manikaan, handled by the barangay of Manikaan. We have another nursery in the Western Mindanao State University San Ramon campus, so that you will see that our partners are not just communities but also institutions. You will also note that there are bamboo nurseries that are in Bungyao, which the Bellas Mujeres de Bungyao are implementing or are managing as a livelihood venture. The city government of Basilan has been working with the Tabiawan Barangay and the Barangay Maligi also for the nurseries. In Tabiawan, we have the bamboo nursery, and in Maligi, we have the mangrove nursery. In Zamboanga, mangrove nursery is located in Simariki Island in Barangay Talon-Talon, that is being handled by the Simariki Island. If we were to focus more on why bamboo and mangrove, we are saying why bamboo. Its declaration as a high-value crop comes with the realization that the bamboo has many uses. As far as like coconut, the bamboo is something that can be used for food, it's something that can be used for handicrafts. It's slowly depleting, but we are realizing that mangrove is what we call the blue carbon, including other marine crops like seagrass and all that. We're seeing how these are crops that will allow us to sequester carbon so that we do not contribute to global warming. Let us now talk about climate resiliency as a focal point of the project, because in fact, it is the main point of the project. All of us realize that the integrity of creation, our environment, is very important. Taking care of that, managing that, so that we do not abuse the use of these resources, and so that we are able to contribute to sustainable development. This is part of what we call our intergenerational responsibility. As far as climate resilience is concerned, we have seen that climate change has become the foremost challenge of the 21st century. Climate change is felt all over the world. It is contributing to the global warming, the growing temperature of the environment, of the Earth's atmosphere. It is contributing to the sea level rise, increases in the level on the sea level because of the increase in temperature. It is contributing to many more extreme cases of precipitation, rainfall, and snow. Because of these effects, we are seeing that they are most affecting the vulnerable communities. When we speak of vulnerable communities, these are the areas that have very little potential to bounce back when adversities related to climate extremes hit them. And so this is especially seen in the uplands where the extreme heat, would affect families and communities, and in the lowlands, especially in the marine areas where the coastal communities are most affected. We realize that increases in temperature affect the sources of livelihood, the habitats of their main resources. For example, increases in temperature could lead to coral bleaching, where coral bleaching could lead to the brittling of the corals. The corals become brittle, and so they become reduced to rubble. And we know that once they're brittle, reduced to rubble, the habitats of the fish are affected. And so that also affects the fish supply. And correspondingly, the fishermen would not be able to have as much supply or stocks of fish as so desired. But even then, we realize that it is not just for human needs that we need to take care of our environment, our corals, and the fish supply. It is basically for keeping the planet robust, for keeping the corals intact, for maintaining the supply of our fishes, because also they form part of creation whose integrity we are after. And so when we speak of mangroves, we are seeing how mangroves can maintain that environment and help be a source of benefits for that environment. We are seeing that some communities who have lost their livelihood often burn or harvest the branches of the mangrove and turn them into firewood for sale. That is something that we would like to discourage, because that is a big factor in the depletion of our mangrove supply. And so we are looking at how the mangroves can be developed so these are made into areas that are good for education and tourism. We have such a thing as ecotourism, and we're seeing how these are places that can be developed for that purpose. But what we want to see is how we are able to maintain the balance of life in the marine areas. As we look at the habitats of our organisms, plants and animals, flora and fauna, from what we call the upland, from ridge to reef, we are seeing that these are areas that are seriously being threatened now. And as we think of the mangroves, we are seeing that the mangroves can be a point of salvation for maintaining and for developing the mangrove, the marine environment, to ensure the sustainability of our fish supply. So as far as bamboos are concerned, we had mentioned the many uses of bamboo, but we're not just now looking at the economic benefits of bamboo, but we're seeing how this makes a contribution to the environment.
So the partnership is expressed into technical assistance in terms of the admin and finance, assisting the staff and the personnel of Vzi Zamboanga in its own first project implementation. In this particular project, Sabida helped to start up, and in terms of management and also in mobilizing the communities. On the other hand, Vzi Zamboanga also reinforced the initiatives of Sabida and its partner communities in terms of reforestation through bamboo and mangrove, in establishing the nurseries and also in the planting, preparing for the planting sites of the bamboo. Vzi Zamboanga also has its own counterpart in Basilan. So we call them the Ganda Gadung. Nagdilaag Foundation as lead implementer of Convenio in Basilan also is a counterpart of Sabida for Basilan. So Nagdilaab assisted Ganda Gadung also in organizing, in strengthening the Ganda Gadung, and even especially in the implementation of the project of Vzi Zamboanga with ACID.
Good morning. 3 years since the launch of the Gandang Gadung Basilan Alliance in 2018, we have already gained headway in our pledge to revive and preserve the beauty and richness of our island province. Through collaborative efforts and active support from the local communities, we were able to successfully complete several tree planting activities, establish bamboo and mangrove nurseries, and likewise provide livelihood assistance through bamboo furniture production. This accomplishment, as well as the other programs and activities which we are still bound to undertake, is the impact of our major gain and with the partnership we have built and forged among different agencies, organizations, and individuals, both in the public and private sector. This is proof that while environmental protection is a daunting task, it will only be surmountable if we continue to work together to save Earth from further ruin. Still, the most challenging task remains one that requires change in behavior, in values and to some extent cultural belief and practices too. In this, we have to find creative, innovative ways to communicate our goals in such manner that will inspire people to commune with us toward our aspiration for healthier, cleaner, safer environment for us all. Every person should think and act knowingly to preserve and protect the environment because one good act done consistently creates a lot of difference, a ripple of more positive outcomes. As it is always said, the conduct of each one dictates the fate of all. We have been taught this lesson hard during this pandemic. And so, let us with symbolic gesture today remind ourselves that we all need to be united in the interest and purpose to save our planet and to do everything we can, not only for a healthy planet, but for human dignity to continually thrive. With this, let us further pledge our commitment to the partnership we have forged with Zamboanga Basilan Integrated Alliance, SABIDA, Verde Zamboanga Incorporated, Tagbilao Foundation Incorporated, Barangay Local Government Unit of Tabiawan, Maligi, and Busay, and the members of Gandang-Gadong Basilan, GGB, to continue work together to protect the environment whose fate depends on us all.
Finally, we are also doing a soft launch of a learning resource material which is intended to be a source book for teachers in Zamboanga City and Basilan. It is entitled In Harmony with Nature, Selected Readings on Environmental Education and Climate Resiliency. It is published by Verde Zamboanga and Maven Media Asia. It will be available for distribution to our partners, especially in the schools by August. So with that, I would like to close and thank you for your kind attention and your support to this and other future projects.